Hi friends, welcome to Heather's Hippo Yoga. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. This is going to be a really lovely, nourishing class. It's beginner yoga to build flexibility for bigger bodies, okay? So you're going to want to have a blanket or a pillow to sit on like I am, nice and tall, or yoga blocks or props. You can use pasta sauce jars, toilet paper rolls, soup cans. And then you're also going to want to have a strap, a yoga strap, or a belt. It can be a hand towel or a scarf. Any of the above works fine. Okay, so Astrid is joining us today. Hi, sweetie. And probably going to make a ruckus, so I apologize if she knocks stuff over, because she will. If you have pets, you're very aware of this. Okay, so let's get started. Go ahead, come to your nice, comfortable seat, sitting up very tall on top of your sits bones. Remembering you can always fold up a blanket and sit on top of it, or you can sit on top of a pillow. You want to make sure you're easeful, able to sit up very straight. So let's go ahead and tune into our bodies. Close your eyes, rest your hands in your lap, and just start to tune into your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Just normally. Not trying to make it be anything other than what it is in this moment. Start to get curious and familiar with your breath. Noticing if it's easy or hard, shallow, deep, strained, choppy, whatever it is, bring your attention to it without judgment and take note. And then go ahead, bring one hand to your heart and see if you can feel your heartbeat or your heart rhythm, heart song. Really listen. And go ahead, start to rub the palms of your hands together, starting to create a little bit of warmth. A little bit of energy, friction, heat. And cup your hands over your eyes. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, start to massage your forehead and your brow line with your fingertips, easing the muscles there. We carry a lot of tension, frustration, and emotion in our faces, so you want to take some time to smooth it down. And you can move out to your temple, down to your cheekbones and your cheeks. And then take the heels of your hands and draw them down your jaw. Releasing any tension that might be in there, any tightness. And bring your hands to heart center, pressing into the palms of the hands, thumbs connected to the sternum. And rest your hands in your lap. Let's do a little bit of pranayama practice, or as you know now, our breath practice. Go ahead, put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And what we're going to do is 3-part breath. So you're going to inhale, fill up your belly with air, making it bigger and fuller. And then you're going to fill up your chest with air and then fill up the air in your throat. Imagine that air's coming all the way down from the belly to the chest to the throat on one inhale, and then you're going to exhale that same way. Exhale out through the throat, through the chest, through the belly, really blowing out every last bit of air. Okay? So you inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly. Inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly. Inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly. Continue at your own pace for a few breaths. And after your next exhale, release your hands into your lap and breathe normally. Noticing if your breath is different. Noticing if you're breathing deeper, or maybe you're not. Just notice. And go ahead and lean back, switch the cross of your legs, and inhale both arms up. Exhale, side bend right. Reaching the fingertips over the head, opening the chest, and rooting that left hip into the floor. Really breathing deeply into the ribs, into the side body. And inhale, both arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Reaching those fingertips, keeping the heart open, and breathing into this whole side body. Taking in all the air you can. And inhale, both arms up. Exhale, side bend right. And then take that top arm, swoop it down in front of you, back, around, and open up the chest to the sky. Breathing in air to that whole front side body. Imagine it's just getting bigger and bigger. And then continue that circle with the hands, swooping it down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Really breathing into the ribs. Take that top arm, swoop it down around and open it up to the sky, breathing deeply. And exhale. And go ahead, continue that circle with the arm. And inhale, both arms up. And exhale, lower your hands down. If you have your props with you, you may want to put a block or your pasta sauce jars, whatever prop you have behind you, just in reach, okay? So inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. One hand on your knee, one hand on that prop in the back. Only if you can't reach your fingertips to the floor. Now as you're twisting here, and we're really working on our spinal flexibility, you want to imagine there's a string sewn into the crown of your head that is pulling you up, almost like you're a puppet. So you're nice and lengthened, your chin is slightly tucked, and you're just gently twisting. We're not using our hands to jerk ourselves around. We're really using our core, our abdomen to twist us. Maybe shifting the gaze. So you inhale to lengthen. Exhale, deepen the twist. And if you need to move your belly out of the way so you can twist, or if you need to lean back ever so slightly, go for it. You can also put your feet straight out in front of you if that affords you a little bit more space. And then take that prop with you. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist to the other side, to the left. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to deepen the twist. Really finding what works for you. Inhaling to lengthen, that string pulling you up. Exhaling to twist. And go ahead, unwind, come back to the center, and let's move on to our hands and knees for tabletop. And always know that you are welcome to grab a blanket and use it underneath your knees for cushion. It's so important, friends. Don't ever skip that self-care, all right? Okay, so coming to your tabletop, and some of you have asked about my gloves that I have. These are called yoga paws. I don't actually know if they're still available. I found them on Amazon a few years ago, but they just help me keep my hands from sliding on the mat. Super awesome. Take a peek. See if you can find them if you like. Okay, I'm just going to tuck my shirt in a little bit. And coming to tabletop. Fingertips facing the top of your mat. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. That crown is reaching forward, the tailbone reaching back, and your navel is drawing into your spine and you're pressing through those hands. Fully engaged here, nice and strong. And moving into our cat and cow, those beautiful spinal inflections that we love and feel so nourishing. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart and gaze. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, release the belly like a cow. And exhale, arc the back like a cat, press through those hands. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep moving at your own pace. And just so you know, we're really warming up the spine, working it in so many different directions. There's a saying that you are only so young, vibrant, and healthy as your spine is supple. And by working on your spinal flexibility, you really strengthen your spinal health, which in turn supports your overall body. So now as you exhale, see if you'd like to add a new kind of movement here. And this is what I call around the world. You start to make big circles with your whole torso, kind of doing circles around to the side, getting the head and the hips involved. It might look a little funny if somebody walks in on you doing this, but just know you are really moving, stretching, and flexing your spine. Go ahead, reverse directions. Remembering to breathe, don't forget. And then come to stillness, to that neutral spine. Tuck your toes and sit back on your heels to stretch your feet. And then flip your hands over to stretch your wrists. Gorgeous. And then bring the big toes together, widen the knees, sit back in child's pose. Remembering you can always bring your head to a block or a pillow. Breathing here, releasing. Breathing into the hips. And then go ahead, come on up and shift forward to lay down on your belly. However works for you. And if you need to adjust the ladies a little, feel free. Put your hands next to your chest. Press into the tops of your feet. Engage those legs. Draw the navel into the spine. Inhale, lift the heart and gaze. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, lengthen. We're really strengthening the spine here, the postural muscles. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, lift, reach the heart forward. Hover the hands just for a moment so we're really working her, helping her get young and healthy. And exhale, lower. And then go ahead, put your hands underneath your forehead as a pillow and let your heels fall out, almost like you're pigeon-toed. Release your lower back and breathe into it. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way into downward facing dog. And for downward facing dog, just remember you are always welcome to take a little break if you need to, right? If you need to come down back to child's pose, feel free to do it, right? It's not super stressful or anything bad, right? It takes time to build this strength, build this flexibility, so be kind to yourself, okay? All right, come back to that tabletop. Lock those fingers just a couple inches above you. Tuck your toes. And that was my cat closing my door. And send the hips back. Press through the hands. Press through the fingertips. Sending those heels down. Sending the tailbone up. Keep a bend in your knees here if you need to. It's really important that the tailbone is up, right? If it's tucked like this and your weight's forward, you're really not getting a stretch. You're really just working your upper body strength, okay? So press through the hands, send the heart to the shins, release the head, let the shoulders fall away from your ears. And go ahead, start to walk the dog, bending one knee at a time. Really breathing here. This is such a great stretch. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, as you straighten, send the tailbone even further up, up. And then go ahead, lower down to your mat. Big toes touching, knees wide. Release to child's pose. And breathe. Those inversions are so great for us. All that blood circulating to our heart, to our head. It's very nourishing. Go ahead, walk your hands up. And something just to keep in mind, downward facing dog is pretty difficult. You know, it takes strength. So like any new thing, it's going to take time for you to build that specific pose, right? And for it to evolve and grow. And if you practice it every single day, just for a minute, 2 minutes, I promise you, you will get stronger and it will get easier. There will come a time, if you have a dedicated practice that you do continually, that after doing certain movements, you will welcome and be so grateful for any time your teacher says, and press back into downward facing dog. And you'll be like, oh, thank goodness. Promise, it will happen at some point. It's happened for me, and now downward facing dog just feels so wonderful. But it took a while for that to happen, okay? So be patient with yourself, be kind. It's gonna take some time, but you can do it. All right, come to stand at the top of your mat. And you're gonna want your yoga props to be at the top of your mat, just outside of it, okay? And for this, if you've got a belly and thighs like I do, you can widen your feet just a little bit, okay? So if I have my feet like this, like hip width distance apart, it's hard for me to fold forward because my belly and my thighs get in the way. So I'm just going to widen my feet just a little bit. We're going to come to that beautiful strong Tadasana. Root down into the floor. Squeeze the thighs so the kneecaps lift. Tuck the tail, navel drawn in, heart lifted, shoulders down, palms facing front. Standing up nice and tall. Engage that root lock. Squeeze those bathroom muscles and draw them in and up. And inhale, both arms up. Reach all the way up. And exhale, dive down. Bring your hands to your props. So we're at a forward fold here. And you can change the height of your props if you like. If this is a little bit more accessible for you, you can also widen your feet just a little bit and keep a gentle bend in the knees. Really, the goal is to drape your torso over your thighs, letting your head hang down, letting your shoulders hang, and decompressing the spine. Something that always cracks me up is whenever I do a forward fold and I'm teaching, you can hear it in my voice because my boobs jump into my throat. I'm sure you enjoy that too. So forward fold hanging here, giving our spine some air, a little break. You can keep that gentle bend. Or you can bring your hands down to the mat if you have that availability. That's totally cool. And next you're going to inhale to a flat back. You can rest your hands on your shins, your knees, or your props. Reaching the crown forward, the tailbone back, shoulders are away from the ears, navel's drawn in. And hopefully you're feeling a lovely little stretch up the back of your legs. This is half lift or flat back. And then you're going to exhale, fold forward again. And then inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down, back to Tadasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale to half lift or flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Pay attention to the breath. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, Tadasana. One more. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, half lift or flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up. And Tadasana. Just breathe for a moment. And then relax. Shake it up. Shake it up. Okay. So come back to your Tadasana. Hands on your hips. Leave your props right in front of you. Inhale, step that right foot back to a high lunge. Right? Knee over the ankle, back leg reaching. And then go ahead, straighten the front leg and pivot that heel down onto the floor. You're going to square off your shoulders to the front of your mat. Hands on your hips. So you've got this nice open hip. You've got your right toes facing the side of your mat and your left toes facing the front. So you're making an L with your feet. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And you can keep a gentle bend in this front knee, just a little micro bend, okay? Very important. Exhale, you're going to hinge forward with a flat back until you feel a stretch. And boy, do I feel a stretch right now. Keep breathing. You should really feel it in that left back leg. And then lower your hands to your props for triangle. I'll move my hands forward so you can see a little bit. You can kind of play with straightening and bending the knee just to see how that stretch feels. And then you can also flex this front foot if you want to deepen the stretch. Nice deep breaths here, loves. Trying to keep a nice straight spine. Breathing, feeling that stretch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the props with us. We're going to walk our hands through center and switch sides. So now, left toes are facing the wide side of your mat, and your right toes are facing the back of your mat. So we've just reversed directions. So keep a little bend in your knee, playing with straightening and bending it, seeing how that feels when you're stretching. Maybe flex that front foot, breathing into the stretch. And thinking wherever you feel tightness or strain, that's where you want to imagine like the air that you're breathing is going to. So right now, I am really breathing into my right calf, the right back of my knee, and the right hip. I definitely feel it there. Keep breathing. And then take your props with you and just come right to the center, okay? Turn your toes in and your heels out. And if you want to widen your feet even more, you are welcome to. You can change the height here on your blocks or your props, changing them in any way, or you can bring your hands down to the floor. Put your hands underneath your shoulders and start to play with the shift of your weight a little bit. Send your weight to your heels and then send the weight to the balls of your feet. Front and back, and front and back. Just feeling how that feels. Remembering if you need to put your hands on your props, go for that, loves. It's totally fine. You're still getting a good stretch. And then one thing I love to do when I'm here, and it might seem silly to you, is I kind of like to shake my butt cheeks, almost like I'm twerking, just because it kind of releases them a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I mean, insert twerk section if that gets you excited. Go for it. No judgment here. And if you can, on your next exhale, see if you can release even further down. Really coming to hang. Once more with a forward fold, letting the weight of your head, the weight of your shoulders, decompress your spine. Maybe if it's accessible to you, you can grab your elbows and sway side to side, or just keep them on the floor or on your blocks. Let your head hang. Shake it yes, shake it no. Or maybe hold your boobs out of your throat, because that definitely happens to me. And then let's go ahead and make our way down onto the mat. Take your time. There's no rush. And we're going to come to a seated position. So I'm going to grab my pillow. So you want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall on top of your sits bones. And remember, you have to move the flesh out of the way. Shift it. Okay, half dragonfly. So your right leg is straight out. Well, not straight out. It's kind of off to an angle with your toes facing up. Left foot in. So kind of a wonky 4. And you're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, lengthen the spine, and exhale, walk your hands forward, but keep your back straight. Hinge forward so far as you can while keeping a straight back. Now your belly and your thighs might get in the way. That's okay. So move your leg out a little bit further. Really focus on sending the heart forward and hinging forward. Nice big breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then walk your hands up and switch feet. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale forward. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, come on up. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. And sit up nice and tall. Bounce your knees just a little bit to release those hips. So we're working on hip flexibility too, right? Not just the spine, not just the hamstring, but also the hips. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep that lengthened spine. Breathing. And then walk your hands up. And go ahead, put your feet out in front of you and open them up to a little mini V. Nothing too crazy, right? We're not trying to do the splits or anything. Not yet. And sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep that flat back. Keep your toes pointed towards the ceiling. And walk your hands forward. This may be as far as you get and you're like, ooh, I feel it. That's great. Just go so far as you can, so long as you feel it. Feel that gorgeous stretch. And inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. And then walk your hands up. Woo! And bounce your knees and bring them in. And let's go ahead and roll over to lay down on your back. Before you do, make sure you have that belt, scarf, or hand towel nearby, okay? And coming to lay down flat on your back. Take a second to just let your shoulders kind of melt into the floor. Connecting with it. And go ahead, take your right foot, shoot it up to the sky, and put it on top of your left knee. And you want to press that right knee out. So you're making an interesting four with your legs. Now you're going to draw that left knee into your chest. And you can either bring your hands behind your knees, so one hand through the legs, if that feels comfortable. Or you can have one knee behind, one hand on the other knee. If you have the access, you can reach your hands and grab the front of the knee, which my thighs are too thick for that. So I just end up putting one hand behind one knee and one hand on top of the other. And draw the knee in for a nice little stretch. Really great for sciatica. This is reclined pigeon. Breathing here. Really big breaths, loves. And then go ahead and lower the foot down, switch sides, pressing that left knee out, drawing the right knee into your chest. And it may be that your foot just wants to stay on the mat, and this is perfect for you. That's great, go for it. You can also take that belt or scarf, and you can wrap it around your thigh, and use that to pull your leg in. That also works, right? So I'm holding onto the straps. It's behind my leg. Breathing. Feeling that deep stretch. And then lower the foot down. Okay. So go ahead, grab that belt or scarf, hand towel, yoga strap, whatever you have. And you want to put your foot in the strap, right? And you can have your hands here, here, your knee can be bent, it's totally cool. You're just going to start to pull your foot closer to your body. We still have this other leg bent. We're just stretching a little bit here. And if your belly gets in the way, you can kind of move your foot kind of off to the side a little bit. And if you want to deepen the stretch, you can straighten that bottom leg, deepening this stretch. You can also put your strap behind your knee and pull it in this way. That's all right. Just keep breathing. Keep stretching. And then let's switch feet. Okay? Gently pulling this leg forward. Maybe straightening that bottom leg out. Breathing deeply wherever you feel tightness. Breathe air into that place. And then go ahead, release. You can put the belt off to the side. Draw both knees into your chest. You can always widen your knees if that feels good. And just rock from side to side. And now if you have a happy baby in your practice, you can just kind of bring your legs out to a nice wide sumo squat. And you can stay like this, and that's totally fine. Or you can take your fingertips, your first two fingers, wrap them around your big toe, releasing your shoulders into the ground, rocking side to side. Or you can put your hands on the inside or the outside. And just rocking. Remembering you can always keep your hands just behind your knees. And then squeeze your knees into your chest one last time. And let's go ahead and move into Shavasana. Knowing you can Shavasana on your back with your legs out, with pillows under your knees. I have a big bottom, so if I don't have anything underneath my knees, my lower back really gets strained. You can put a blanket over yourself. Really take time to get nice and comfy. You can Shavasana on your side, on your belly, in your bed. No judgment. There's really no wrong way to Shavasana. Still getting comfortable, closing your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Soften the face muscles, relaxing the eyes, the cheeks, and the jaw. Close the lips of your mouth. Separate your teeth. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Inhale. Exhale, release your upper body into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, release your lower body into the floor. Letting gravity pull you down, melt you into the earth. Knowing that while you're in this pose, your thoughts may come and go, And that's all right. You don't have to try to turn them off. Just let them be what they are without any judgment. If they get a little too overwhelming, you're always welcome to draw your attention back to your breath, back to that curiosity of what your breath feels like. So inhale, exhale, release. Shavasana. And starting to deepen the breath, bringing your attention back to your fingertips, wiggling them, moving your toes, Circling your wrists, circling your ankles, reaching your arms above your head, stretching like you do in the morning. And go ahead and make your way up to a seated position. Sitting nice and tall. Resting one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly underneath your hand. And then connecting to your heartbeat under the other. Bringing hands to heart center. The light inside of me honors and bows to the light inside of you. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciated it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and share with friends. Namaste, loves. Thank you so much.